Right, people. So in this here video, I will just be outlining the positives and the negatives of swearing on a podcast. So there's obviously plenty of them. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. I feel like I'm someone who can talk a lot on this because I have sworn explicitly on this podcast numerous times. I think I'm nearly an expert at this stage. I should have a PhD in swearing, to be honest. A swear word relates to an offensive word, often as an expression of anger. Swearing was invented in 1609 by Frenchman Henry de Boileau, or Henry de Bollocks as he was affectionately known in his hometown. Henry used swearing as a way to escape his everyday struggles with body dysmorphia and mental health. This was obviously long before counselling and mental health existed. Over the years, swear words have been coined in different cultures, with some more offensive than others. Bastard, for example, means illegitimate son. And as everyone knows, that was just something by the Catholic Church to make us feel guilty about, but isn't actually a swear word and isn't actually anything wrong with it. Yeah, let's get into the video. Right, so we'll just start with the negative part first because it won't take too long and we can talk about the positives. You probably have to be careful when you're swearing because obviously it is damaging sometimes. You have to watch who your audience is. Like if it's like a business podcast or something formal, you can't really be talking. Like you have to watch what you're saying. You have to have like formal lingo and stuff like that. You have to use business jargon and stuff like that and not effing and blinding like a junior B manager. I always think of like a primary school teacher doing a podcast, and I think I would hate that more than like seeing Kakok win the championship. I think I would hate that more. It would be painful. Imagine that you'd have to watch everything you say. Like, obviously, like kids don't really listen to podcasts; they're not that cool. Like, but still, if one of them heard it and they say it to their mom, this is what my primary school teacher was talking about. Like you couldn't actually, it'd be so shite, like, because you couldn't actually talk about anything decent. That's obviously another instance where you can't swear. There's plenty of instances where you can't swear. There's times it's not suitable. It's like swearing is not always suitable, and people just have to understand that. I was just blessed with the niche that I came up with that every mad bastard in the country wanted to come on it and swear as much as they wanted. So I never had any problem swearing. As you can see from the first few episodes, I think she had more swear words than actual words. But yeah, like we just had such a like free flowing thing that like no one really cared what you said. Like, so people get offended extremely easily nowadays. You have to remember that people get so easily offended, and I'm just lucky that I couldn't give two shites. That's why we always never really took much heed of what people said. I think it can come off as cringy sometimes. Like that's definitely what people said to me at the start when there was a lot of swearing in it. And it probably did. I think when I look back on it, I do cringe a bit because I think it can be forced and you can kind of try to be cool. Kind of like a 14-year-old thing swearing. I was like, oh yeah, my parents let me swear. I'm in high class. So yeah, that's the cons. Thank God we're done with that. That was painful. Right, the pros. There's loads of these. Anyone who's ever sworn in their life knows that most of the time it was probably avoidable, but it was good crack. Makes you relatable. Everyone likes someone who swears. They don't think you're a tight arse. It does help to swear the odd time. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I think there's a stigma around swearing sometimes. And sure, look, there's a good chance of offending someone when you swear, so that's good as well. Always try and there's a great tip I heard from a podcaster. He's an American lad. You probably won't know him, so I won't say his name. Um, he was like, always be if you're trying to stir up stuff, always be on the edge of like offending people. Like people think the key is to like always be offended, like not to be offending people, but to like be really like controversial all the time and deliberately. It's like no, speak your opinion, be honest. Don't like try and offend people because that's just stupid. Like, but like always be on the edge of like pissing people off and say you could even throw in like make two or three statements in a row and throw in the middle one as being like, Jesus, why did you say that? Or like, there's obviously a limit to like whatever you say, but like, just yourself. Like everyone knows what you can't say. Like there obviously is the limits. And some people there's no limits, and they're the podcasts I want to listen to.
I am not interested in being around grizzly bears. The bear caught up to the moose and broke its back.
Then the last thing is just freedom of speech. Everyone deserves to swear. It's a civil right. It's definitely in the proclamation somewhere. Like if you went through your life, the only thing you did wrong was swearing, I'd be happy enough with you, to be honest. You didn't sell any drugs. You didn't kill anyone, stab anyone, match fix. I'd be happy enough with you, to be honest. So yeah, I think that is the end of the video. Thanks very much, and giddy up.